This is question number 6 on the June 2014 calculator paper. So there's a lot of writing here. Let's read through the question and see what maths we need to do. Sue is driving home from her friend's house. She drives 10 miles from her friend's house to the motorway, 240 miles on the motorway, 5 miles from the motorway to her home. She takes 20 minutes to drive from her friend's house to the motorway. She drives at an average speed of 60 miles per hour on the motorway. It takes 25 minutes to drive from the motorway to her home. Sue stops for 30 minutes to rest on her drive home. She leaves her friend's house at 9 a.m. At what time does she get home? You must show all your workings. Okay, so there are a lot of key facts in this question, and we need to try to use all the information that they've given us. Okay, so what I am going to do, I think the best way to do this is to draw a timeline of Sue's journey. Okay, so I'm going to do that from where she begins her journey to when she ends her journey at home. So she starts off her journey at her friend's house, and then she makes her way all the way home. And we need to work out what time she gets home. So we know that she leaves her friend's house at 9 a.m. We know that when she leaves her friend's house, it takes her 20 minutes from her friend's house to get to the motorway, and that distance is 10 miles. And it takes her 20 minutes, so she gets to the motorway at 9:20. Okay, 9:20 a.m. When she's at the motorway, she travels on the motorway for a distance of 240 miles. So she travels altogether for 240 miles, and she travels at a speed of 60 miles per hour. Now, if she's traveling at 60 miles per hour and she's traveling 240 miles altogether, we could work out how long that takes her. At 60 miles per hour, that means that she travels 60 miles in 1 hour. So if she was traveling 240 miles, how long would she take to do that? Now, I know my 6 times tables, and 6 times 4 is 24, so 60 times 4 is going to give me 240. So I'll be timesing by 4 as I go across there, and do the same on this side. It's going to take me 4 hours, or it's going to take her 4 hours to travel along the motorway for 200 miles. So that's 9:20 plus 4. That's going to take me to 1:20 p.m. 1:20 p.m. Okay, so she gets off the motorway at 1:20. The other bit of information we know is that 5 miles from the motorway to her home. So to get home, right, there is 5 miles. All right, but one of the things we do know is that she stops for a rest for 30 minutes. So actually, if we assume that she does that rest there, she could have rested at any time. So if I say rest for 30 minutes, if I add that on to 1:20, that takes me to 1:50 p.m. She then travels the last stage from the end of the motorway to her home, and that's 5 miles. And how long does it take her? It takes her 25 minutes. It takes 25 minutes. And this is her home. So 1:50 p.m. plus 25 minutes. So add on 10. That's going to take me to 2:15 p.m. That's the time that she gets home. Okay, so there's my diagram all together. Okay, outlining her whole journey, and I indicated that she's going to get home at 2:15 p.m. There's a lot of information in this question. This question is worth 3 marks altogether, and in the answer space, that's what I'm going towards now. I'm going to just write down 2:15 p.m. You could have worked in a 24-hour clock and written 14:15 there. I hope and I expect that they'd give you the marks for that. But if we go back to the whole question and all the details, there's a lot of information here. You don't have to use every single thing, but you need to make sure you understand what the question is asking you. What time does she get home? And that time is 2:15 p.m.